So what's good, TMG fam? It's your boy L, and I'm back with another reaction. How y'all feel? Welcome back to the channel. Salute. So let me give you a quick disclaimer real quick. I really don't care, but I'm gonna give you the disclaimer anyway, just in case you hear my stomach growling kind of over aggressively. You know what I mean? I'm on a 21-day fast right now. Yes, your boy is doing a 21-day fast right now. So I'm extra hungry. So if I see food during the video and you see drool drop out my mouth, just know why. All right? So let's get to the madness. Remember, question everything. You should. And these videos are for entertainment purposes only. Let's get to it.
Hey, William. So I just met William down here in downtown Savannah in the Reynolds Square, and he saw me fighting these vampires, and he came up to me and was like, I got to tell you a story. Go ahead.
Well, I'll just tell you what I know that happened to me. I drove a cab for many years again. It was for Adam Cab. I was sent to a location called the Foley House to pick up 3 young ladies. Well, they were older ladies, actually. They had what you call Southern Belles, little umbrellas, things of this nature. I picked them up. They got in the cab. They were going to Elizabeth's on 37th Street. And they were chatting and laughing in the back seat, and I was having a good time. I'm just cruising. And I got to Elizabeth's, and I turned around and said, ma'am, well, your fare's going to be, such and such, and there was nobody in the cab.
What?
So I called my boss man. I said, Martin, you're not going to believe this. Before I could get to my story, he's cussing me out. Did you pick up the 3 ladies from the Foley House? I'm like, dude, I did, but nobody's in the cab. I was working at 1790 restaurant at one time. I was a dishwasher there. Got off kind of late, round about maybe 1:30 somewhere. I'm walking home. I'm headed toward the east side, and it was foggy outside. And I just had a strange feeling, like the hair on the back of my neck was rolling up.
I understand.
And I looked in back of me, and even in the fog, I see this guy. He's wrapped in a black cape. True story, believe it. Don't have to.
I believe.
Wrapped in a black cape. And he was no less than 20 feet from me.
Over there, right?
Yes, ma'am. And I hollered out, yo, dude, what are you doing, right? And when I did that, I took off running. And when I looked back, he was gone.
He was gone fast, right?
Yeah, he literally disappeared.
Thank you so much for telling me this story.
Savannah,
my
Georgia.
friend, Savannah, Georgia. Hey, Williams.
Whoa. Why he had to say Savannah, Georgia? I'm thinking this went down in like New Orleans or something like that, or Ohio. Those are the 2 places so far that I've known of with the vampire information going down and the stories. Why he have to say Savannah, bro? That's where my pops live. That's where I go to visit. You know what I mean? The family, and I stay in Savannah, but I don't go downtown. So let me. Mental note. Now, the other part was, how many of y'all thought about, or do y'all remember Taxi Cab Confessions? Remember that? Used to come on HBO. Some of y'all don't even know what HBO is, but remember Taxi? That was the first thing I thought about when he started talking about driving the cab and weird people in the back and stuff like that. Remember that? It was crazy. It was crazy, bro. And some of y'all don't believe. I don't even know if I believe in vampires or not yet, but these stories seem pretty real. And who are you to tell them what they experienced? So,
Day 3 of 2025. 4 gunmen walked up to Club on Missouri in New York and killed people in a mass shooting. Today, a postal worker was killed in a bodega in Harlem. A bomb threat shut down I-85 in South Carolina. The judge in Donald Trump's hush money case said he will be sentenced on January 10th, just 10 days before his inauguration. It's been reported in China that there's a mystery virus that is overtaking hospitals that they can't control. They're saying it's HMPV, human metapneumovirus, which is the cause of it. And last time we heard something like this was 4 years ago. Not only do we still have drones, we have now shape-shifting drones that have been caught in camera. All of these things happening day 3 into the new year, in addition with the plane crash from yesterday, in addition with the terrorist attacks, in addition to us being completely unstable in this country, something has to give. This is feeling like, I don't know. It's feeling kind of like doomsday, bro. Like, and I make these videos because, I want everybody to be apprised of what's going on. But geez, 3 days in, my anxiety can't handle this. Day 3 of...
Just wait till he get to day 9, where we're at right now currently, and he sees everything that's going on, what he has to say after that. You know what I mean? And we got another Cat Williams interview scheduled. Yeah, exactly. Like we need... it's coming. Sooner or later, we're going to hear from Cat Williams again. And we know he was the spark that set the whole fire ablaze last year that got everything going. So, yeah, bro. 2025, fam. It told 2024 to hold my beer. Watch this.
I was not going to make a video on this, but what the is up with all this fog? Like, why is it so foggy outside? And like, is it just me or did y'all feel an energy shift after Christmas? Because I definitely did, and it felt like a very draining and tiring energy. Like, I felt very tired, but I couldn't sleep. I don't know what the is going on, but there was definitely a shift, and all this fog all around is just weird to me because this is not just here. I'm seeing many other people post about this fog, so it's just, I don't know what the hell they got going on, but I'm definitely not in no state of fear or anything. I'm staying in the energy of love, but this is definitely weird because I like foggy scenery, but this is giving me a weird vibe. I was not gonna make a video.
It's almost like the fall was like the prelude of to what was to come. Like all of this stuff, man. It's just like, man. And again, we ain't even that deep into the year.
Okay, James and I are talking. We're thinking, how do we need these drones that are in New Jersey, the Dior bags or whatever. We need the Dior bags out of New Jersey can we borrow you? Can you guys, we need to strap some buckets to you guys. Can you just head over to California? We got buckets and we're woo, 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 just picking up water, dropping it off on California, picking up water, dropping it off on California. So listen, whoever's in charge of these drones, if that's not where their priorities are right now, then they're definitely our adversaries. Right? Why can't we do that? Buckets connected. What do you guys, I don't understand. I have to research today, like, what's up with the California. Like, we know California is in a drought. Isn't there something that we can do, like, precautionary ahead of time, you know, because we know every year, like, they do have, you know, some fires, so surely there's something we can, like, damper down, or, you know, it's the whole ocean's right there. That's what I don't understand, the whole ocean. Can we get, like, just some sort of system, some irrigation system that just sucks it right out of the ocean and just, like, sprays over California, cools them down? Like Dubai, they have their own freaking weather. They're in the middle of, okay. Anyway, good morning, guys. Okay, James.
That's the thing. Like, Dubai has the ability to be able to control their weather. We need rain right now. We need something right now. Okay? If these drones are not from another world or another planet or something like that, or they're possibly ours, why are we not utilizing them? All those drones that were in the sky? See, this is exposing them. This is exposing the lies that we were receiving. They're not a threat. They're this, that, and the third, different things they were saying. Like, this is exposing them. All that's going on right now. They look bad.
If you haven't seen the video yet of Fox News broadcasting the fires, and then all of a sudden there's this mystery object flying through the sky, almost like they're showing it on purpose. Almost like they're trying to make us question it. For your entertainment purposes. What exactly is going on here? There are still so many questions. Like, how did this actually start? Do we have an answer on that? Because I'm not buying that somebody threw a cigarette. Why are the fire hydrants empty? Why were people's fire insurance canceled? There's just too many questions. And I'm not saying that innocent people aren't losing their lives and losing their homes and losing their pets. They definitely are. But why? I'm not buying it. I'm not buying any of it. I'm not buying any of it. If you haven't seen...
And it's the timing of it all. I think that's the biggest thing for me, the timing. We were so focused on exposing the lies from the drones, the plasma orbs, the fog, everything that was happening. And then all of a sudden, boom, a fire happens. And now our attention is taken over here. Like, we still got all this stuff that was happening in the background, the bird flu, just so many different things. And then this happens. I'm just not a person that believes in coincidences like that. So, you know what I mean? After we get these people straight and get them safe and get everything situated, we're going to talk about all this stuff because the timing is just insane to me.
And bird flu is now in eastern Iowa. A case of bird flu has been confirmed in an Iowa poultry flock, this time in Clinton County. The Iowa Department of Agriculture and Land Stewardship says the latest case is in a mixed species backyard flock. The department says this is the state's first confirmed case of bird flu in 2025. Last year, 11 cases of the disease were recorded in the state, including 10 in northwest Iowa. Last week, Governor Kim Reynolds extended a disaster proclamation connected to those cases in 4 northwest Iowa counties.
I feel like I'm having deja vu, and I feel like we all might start feeling like we're having deja vu soon. I hope I'm wrong. We're starting to see headlines of the first ever case, the first death linked to the bird flu. Breathe in, breathe out. I know it's cold and flu season, but it's also right before a new president takes office. And of course, we're starting to see cases of bird flu. Now, I don't say this to be insensitive to the person that lost their life down in Louisiana, but the news headlines are all over the place in mainstream media talking about this death and the bird flu and how you can protect yourself and the cause.
I agree, because you hear mutation and then you don't hear anything else. Well, it's not human to human yet, but you hear mutation, but it's not human to human yet. So it's like you don't really know where we stand with this thing. We don't know how or where we at or where it's at as far as in this development stage and how close we are to it being possibly human to human. We don't know. It just, again, left out in the dark again. We've been here before.
Cause for concern and blah, blah, blah. And that there's 66 people here in the United States that have been confirmed to have it. This better not turn into anything. We better not be having deja vu here soon. That's all I gotta say.
One day, he goes, it's just going to be the right wind and fire's going to start in the right place and it's going to burn through LA all the way to the ocean and there's not a thing we can do about it. He goes, we get lucky with the wind. He goes, but if the wind hits the wrong way, it's just going to burn straight through LA and there's not going to be a thing we can do about it. One day.
Who was the guy who said that to Joe? I need to know, bro. We need a name. We need a name. And still at the same time to protect that guy at all costs. Because if he said this back in 2024, around the beginning of 2024, whenever this clip took place, and we're here now, like the people on the ground, the boots on the ground, they be knowing. They be knowing. Like working at a fire department, I knew where the areas that we were really bad in and we lacked. And that if something like catastrophic hit, we weren't gonna be able to, or equipped to handle it. We knew. You know what I'm saying? And what I'm seeing is every department is like that. Every department is like that. Lacking a lot of things. Probably been sent up the chain, requested. Like it was a long time before we got extractors to be able to really clean our PPE. You know, the stuff that you go into the fire with. We didn't, for the longest, have the adequate way to clean it. So we're carrying these cancer-causing carcinogens on this turnout gear and putting it on, donning it, taking it off, donning it, trying to clean it the best way we can. It wasn't until a while before we got extractors to be able to throw our stuff in there and extract that stuff off of it. Like, this is an eye-opener for sure.
Am I the only one that feels really weird on the inside, like core, about these wildfires in LA? It feels really weird. It's just like not wildfire season. We've had drones flying in our sky, the Cybertruck attack. It's like the timing of everything is just really, really, really weird. I've never in my life seen Hollywood or any downtown cities in LA start on fire. I have seen people in California saying this isn't normal. It's just really, really weird. It gives me an eerie feeling where we have some type of terrorism going on and our government is not telling us what's going on, guys. It does break my heart for the communities that are being affected in California with the wildfire. However, it's really odd and really weird that these people who are famous with money, who have houses, who have riches, are getting their houses burnt down. I feel like there's a message behind this. Don't know if I'm the only one who thinks this, but I feel like this is the start to a very exposing year. I feel like tables are turning. I feel like the poor or someone below us or someone who knows something is trying to expose the higher ups. The Diddy situation that's being exposed, Elon Musk situation with the Cybertruck, and now wildfires in Hollywood. These are major landmarks being burnt down to a crisp. People with money who have invested in acting, singing, whatever it was, their houses are being burnt down. Celebrities are losing it. I feel like this is just a crumble effect. I really think 2025 is going to be an eye-opening, awakening, empire has fallen type of year. Call me crazy, but I know I can't be the only one feeling like this fire is something deeper than what they're saying. It's not wildfire season. Am I the only?
No, you're not crazy. None of us are crazy, bro. We're assessing a situation that's unfolding right before our eyes. We're not crazy. And I think one of the craziest things right now is the insurance. People being dropped from their insurance, or insurances switching up, eliminating like certain natural disasters and different things, writing that out of the policy or doing whatever it is underhandedly that they're doing. Like this is crazy. What I want to hear from is people in other countries that are sitting back and seeing everything that's happening here. And I want to hear their takes on it, especially the ones who don't hardly have like to pay a whole lot, you know, that don't really pay taxes like that. And healthcare is really, really cheap there. I want to hear from them there, what they think about what we're dealing with right now and how they see us.
I don't want to be that person, but I'm just going to have to be that person. I'm seeing all these videos on my For You page talking about the Los Angeles fires, and I see a lot of people talking about, oh, do you remember that dude that said you need to evacuate Los Angeles? Da, 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 da. Yes, there was a man named Drew the Prophet that's on TikTok who went to Los Angeles and was going to different parts of San Andreas, and he was telling people to evacuate because of the San Andreas fault line and that a whole flood was going to cover up the entire state of California. So last year, he was from Atlanta, traveled all the way to California to tell people that because he believed that God had put it on his heart to tell people to leave. And now that these fires are happening in Los Angeles, people are coming out making videos talking about, oh, y'all should have listened to him. Oh, he told y'all to evacuate Los Angeles. Drew even posted a video talking about, I told y'all to evacuate LA, evacuate Los Angeles. And I'm sorry, but it just comes across as insensitive, and it comes across as completely and entirely heartless. That because millions of people did not pay attention to maybe 2 or 4 different TikTok videos, that means that they are deserving of everything that's happening to them right now. And I just simply don't agree with those statements. And for all the people that are making those statements, I think it's just better for y'all to just stay silent. Because for y'all to make those statements and say the things about the people that are living there, that it's their fault that they're still there and that everything's on fire and that they lost everything, it's extremely insensitive, and it just shows where your heart is at, and it's not in a good place. I don't want to be that.
I agree. I like the fact that she's being that person. I agree. Like, bro, people are losing everything. I showed this video where a lady was standing out where she grew up at and just tears just coming down her face as she's trying to cope with what she's dealing with, bro. Like, fam, like I told y'all, being at these scenes, if you've never been to one, go to one. It'll change your whole perspective on things. When Red Cross is out there and a family's trying to cope with the fact that they just lost everything. Like, if you've never been to one of those fire scenes, go to one. It'll humble you. It'll change your perspective, bro. That's not something you can prepare for, and it's hard for people to handle, bro. I'm telling you, you don't even have clothes. So Red Cross is trying to get you vouchers and somewhere to stay for the night. You don't even know, like, all of your stuff. Go to one. Go help out. Just go volunteer at one. change your whole life and perspective on things. I guarantee some of those who making those comments and insensitive comments has never experienced anything like that.
You might be wondering, why isn't there enough water to fight these fires, and what has happened to the water system in California? The answer is one billionaire couple, Stuart and Linda Resnick. They own most of the water in California. Here's how they did it. Prior to 1994, there was a long-standing rule in California that in times of drought, water was then delivered to those areas. This changed during a series of secretive meetings in 1994, where they decided that now Californians would have to purchase this water from private owners. The Resnicks are very well known for their farming and agriculture. They are the ones who do pomegranate juice. They also have Halo, like the little cuties. They're not the same, but, and also their pistachio brand is very well known. And how they get away with all this is through philanthropy. They donate money to a good friend of theirs, Senator Diane of California, who has helped get different studies to the Obama administration. They also donate a lot of money to University of California and their efforts in agricultural and water studies. Now, there's a lot of intricacies and nuances to be said. I'm going to keep researching this, but the funding that is provided has a lot of sway. The people who fund these projects can determine and ask, like, under what quotas they want, what the prompt is for that said study. And as we see everyday people suffering it because of it, as we see firefighters who are just heartbroken because there's not enough water, we question why. And the reason is greed and selfishness that two people got away with and are still getting away with. Another thing about them, they use more water in their home in Los Angeles than all of Los Angeles combined. I saw this article about it, but since they own the water, they can do what they want.
Linda and Stuart Resnick own over 60% of California's water rights. They made their massive fortune in agriculture. Their business, The Wonderful Company, produces pomegranate juice and most famously pistachios, and they use over 150 billion gallons of water.
I was wondering, but I don't know if y'all saw me turn. That's because I had these, but these are cashews. I was like, but I love pistachios, but I don't like that brand there. I normally get another one from like Aldi. It's a different one in like a green pack, but
every year. Water used to be considered a public right. That was until 1994 when there was a secret meeting. These two were in attendance, and it was divided up by private interest groups. Before the 1994 secret meeting, water used to go to the citizens first, but that all changed and now it goes to agriculture needs. And with the Resnicks being the largest farmers in California, guess who gets the most water? What makes it even worse is that they sell water back to the county, but it's considered paper water. So most of the time, the amount of water that they buy is not even the amount of water that's actually on hand. This has been a problem for the state for years, but there's been little to do anything to change it. We should boycott The Wonderful Company, not only for the destruction that they're causing in California, the destruction they cause abroad by supporting the occupation of Gaza. Linda and
I'm telling you now, bro, and I heard this from a comedian back in the day. Remember? Might have been Earthquake. I don't know. When they said that they was going to start charging us for air, like, we need to figure out a way to bottle it, save it, put it in the safe, store it. I don't know what we need to do to start doing that, but I feel like air is going to be the next thing we getting charged for, fam. Because the fact that water, it just makes no sense to me. So I don't know why I got a strong feeling, but air is next, bro. Air. We need to start storing it somewhere as best we can. I don't know how, who can do it. I'm just putting it out there like I'm supposed to do. I'm doing my job. Now it's up to us to figure out who can store it for us.
happened in the West Coast for them to get water, and they want to renew their project, which is a 113-year-old aqueduct to refill the area, whatever it is. When they did their dry runs, by the way, that was a total non-answer from Governor Newsom. You tell me Governor DeSantis would answer that. Even if the answer's not good, he just totally obscured it as if he's in some 12th grade debate. Locals.
Listen, all they need to do is just go back and check. Like I said, we used to keep records of how often we tested the hydrants. I think we used to do it twice a year. You know what I mean? Testing those hydrants. And some people may feel like that wasn't enough. But I think we did it twice a year. So they should be able to go pull the records and see when was the last time those hydrants were tested.
Up to the locals.
Well, people are burning in your state. And you, if it's up to the locals, you got Karen Bass, who wasn't even there. She was given notice 48 hours before this was going to happen. She could have delayed the trip to Ghana. And there's no interest for L.A. going to that inauguration.
She cut the budget of the fire department.
Well, to $17 million.
To your point, Lawrence, she declared a state of emergency on Tuesday when she was going to Africa.
Exactly.
If your town is going to have a state of emergency.
And the thing is, man, you'd be surprised at how many fire department budgets. I know my firefighter brothers loving it right now because I get a chance to speak up for them right now. And their budgets get cut often. You know what I mean? They're already viewed as people who just ride around all day and park in the fire lane and eat and sleep and all that. They get a bad rep. They get their budgets cut, and it's crazy. But when you need them, when you really need them, bro, they do some amazing things, and nobody else can do what they do. This is why they should always have budgets and equipment and tool, everything they need. They should have, bro, because when you need them, you need them.
Thousands of families have been displaced. Many of those families with young children with nowhere to go. And what we know is that this is a matter of current urgency, but this is also something that is going to have an impact for months and years to come. And on that point, I will also make note of the fact that sadly, many insurance companies have canceled insurance for a lot of the families who have been affected and will be affected, which is only going to delay or place an added burden on their ability to recover. And I think that is an important point that must be raised, and hopefully there can be some way to address that issue, because these families, so many of them, otherwise will not have the resources to recover in any meaningful way. And many of them have lost everything. In the midst, however, of all of the trauma that has occurred, we have seen extraordinary acts of heroism. I'm hearing countless stories of strangers helping strangers. People who are opening their homes where they are intact and have not had to evacuate, opening their homes to neighbors, to friends of neighbors, feeding them and providing shelter for them. And I do think that it speaks to the best of who we are as a country, which is in times of crisis, we find the heroes among us who we may not have known before, but act out of a sense of courage, but also a sense of community. And I applaud all those who are approaching this crisis with that spirit.
Look at this. From here on out, for probably a mile, it is just non-stop destruction of all of these businesses, all of these homes. And right here you've got homes that are burning. Take a look over here. This is an apartment complex that has gone up. There's a multi-level apartment complex here. Wow. That is the Pacific Palisades Presbyterian Church, or what is left of it. Those are the remnants of a beautiful church that used to be up on the hill there. Casa Nostra is completely gone. This is an entire neighborhood near Drummond Street that is completely gone. And it's the same over to the left. The only thing standing in many of these homes are chimneys.
That's another thing, man. We don't talk about the first responders enough. Shout outs to them for everything that they do, bro. The first responders are crucial. They are definitely needed.
Next to this area, when we were talking to you earlier, we mentioned that there was a nursing home and an assisted living home that did have to be evacuated. That was at the intersection of Pasadena and Washington. And I want to show you some of that video that we have of people being evacuated. That was the Park Terraces and the Pasadena Wellness Center, those areas. There were 96 people that had to be evacuated. People in gurneys, people in wheelchairs, people in rolling beds being rushed out of that assisted living home, out of that nursing home. 96 of them transported and evacuated to Los Feliz. We talked to a woman who rushed over here from Arcadia to help her mom. She had had power going in and out all day, so it was really hard for her to understand the situation and what was going on. But if you take another live look back out here, you can see the flames have just gotten bigger and bigger. That black smoke right in front of us here at the Pasadena Jewish Temple and Center.